So the last part of Chapter 6 training, we're going to learn a little bit more about turbines that are shown here in this picture, right? In this picture here we can see ducted turbines, and this is actually from Paul Geip's WindWorks page, and I clicked on the small wind turbines and it shows some interesting articles on wind turbine testing. There's a section here on vertical axis wind turbines. Here's another section on what Paul likes to call inventions and questionable turbines. When we click on that one, notice it takes us to this page. And Paul has a pretty good historical background here of the amount of time and energy and money that has been spent on these machines in an attempt to come up with a turbine that will work on the roof of a house, on the roof of a factory, in a parking lot, on a car, in a boat. Okay, and although there's reason to hope that someday somebody will come up with a turbine that could work like this, no one has yet. And it ends up putting a black eye on the industry because people spend a lot of money, like we saw in the video with the AES wind jet that I saw in Kansas City. Can you imagine spending $200,000 on a machine that will only make 5 kilowatts and not very well? It's rated for 5 kilowatts when the wind is blowing at 24 miles an hour. Well, how often does that happen? Not very often at all. So that machine, although it was listed as being efficient, and I think that in one of those YouTube videos, the A.L. Huber representative that paid for that system talked about it as being the most efficient 5 kilowatt machine available. He never finished the sentence, and it turns out that it's not true. So I'm going to show you around it a little bit more on some other small wind turbines, right? So here, look at this. This is just using a Google search. Look at all the small vertical axis Savonius and ducted turbines that are available. There's no shortage of them, and people will spend money for anything. Did anyone here ever buy a pet rock? Okay, so here are lots of different images that we can find, and here's a link from a company, not this one here. This is a guy who refers to himself as a sustainability entrepreneur, advisor, and novelist. Nowhere does he say he's an engineer. And so what he's hoping for is that some of these machines will actually work out. He's got a pretty good collection of them as well. So you can do some research here. Proven, this is a machine that's been around for a while. It's actually called Kingspan now. These guys are around, hopefully not for much longer. Windspire, we have some pictures of these in places with notable politicians and celebrities standing in front of them. So why am I bringing all this up? Well, I'm bringing all this up because we're going to find these. People are going to ask us. This one here, the Swiftwind, that looks very much like the one that Honeywell, the large industrial corporation, actually put their name on one of these. And so it's some large companies, some big names have been duped into believing that these things are going to provide something that they just can't. So again, you can see this website here. This will be helpful for your research. What I'm getting at is where are we going to be able to find active data on this stuff? Because we need active data. Without active data, how are we going to find out if these things work or not? So one thing we have in Madison College is we have our data logger, right? So there's the data logger in Fort Atkinson. And this is showing what the wind speed is in Fort Atkinson right now on 6/23 at 7 p.m. So we can see what the wind is. We've got an anemometer that isn't functioning at the 30-foot level. At the 40-foot level and the 87-foot level, the wind is blowing okay. And notice it's peaked out at 13 miles an hour. And so we can see what it has averaged out at. So the wind's doing okay. Well, what's going on with our camera in Fort Atkinson? Same time. Kind of dark. We can see that it's still spinning. And we can see our small turbine here as well. What I'm looking for is the ability to find some real-time wind turbine performance. That's the thing about these VAWTs. They're showing you pictures of these things. Yeah, they're turning. Yeah, it looks like they're working. How much energy are they making? How much energy are these things making? And so that's going to be your assignment for this week. I want you to go out and I want you to use the internet and I want you to find some real-time wind turbine performance, both for horizontal wind turbines and also for the vertical axis wind turbines. And we will also open up a discussion board topic for you to discuss the information that you found, and this will be a great event. I did find one search here, right? This is a very interesting one. This is called the windwatch.org. This is real-time wind production. This isn't individual turbines. This is by countries or by regions or locations. And you need a pretty good internet connection to get this because it's pulling in lots of data. All right, and then finally I was able to find this dashboard. This is called the Sask Power, right? saskpower.com, power your future. So they can provide this information real time. So here they're showing that there is a turbine that's spinning at 18 point, it looks like the wind is moving at 22.53 kilometers per hour, which could be also converted to meters per second. We can look at the temperature differently. I think that's probably all they'll give us here. So this is an example of what some of the monitoring can be. And if we look on historical view, it will probably also give us some graphs. Wouldn't it be great if we could find some information on the vertical axis wind turbines like this to show once and for all how well they actually perform? I hope you can find something. I really do. In the meantime, take a look at some of these sites, read over what Paul has to say, and when we get on the discussion board, I'm looking for the discussion as to why we think turbines like these remain popular when we have so little proof of their effectiveness as real energy producers.